Survivors Not Victims Incorporated was established to help individuals who have been sexually abused know that they do not have to remain a victim any longer, but they can regain their dignity, their self-esteem, and their power back. They do not have to remain silent any longer. Veronica Thomas, the president and founder of Survivors Not Victims, began this organization in 2007. Veronica, who was molested as a child, encourages all that you do not have to remain silent or a victim any longer. There is help, and you're not alone. Today we will meet some of the people who help behind the scenes to create an effective, viable resource arm for the Hampton Roads community, the hidden jewels behind Survivors Not Victims Incorporated.
John Duco,
David Riddick, Jack Stoskov.
I pray we'll find your light.
Pray we'll find your light.
And hold it in our heart.
I am retired military Army, and I also retired from the Newport News Public Schools. I taught math at Passage Middle School. And since retirement in June of 2009, I've been working with the USDA Food Service Program since then.
Bachelor of Science in Mathematics from the Elizabeth City State University. And I'm an air traffic controller at Newport News Airport. Been there for almost 30 years.
Lead us to a place.
And if you're listening to this, I just offer up a prayer for you that God would strengthen you. You're not watching this by accident, but by God's design. Nothing but happens by chance or by circumstance. And I just pray that, somewhere in this video, God's touched you like He has touched my life, and that you will look to Him as your source of strength. Just trust Him. I pray, and God will give you a light and guide you if you just ask Him. And, amen.
I'm the research coordinator for S&V, also the treasurer. And what did I do? I help them coordinate projects, missions, do a lot of research, do their paperwork for like city, the programs we do, and just kind of keep us out of the straight and narrow legally wise, and do all the research on the stuff we need, like the becoming a 501c, how to do that, make sure we help with the taxes. And I've been working with S&V for about 4 years right now. August, we had our Community Wellness Fun Fest at Buckrow Beach that went out real well. Our featured band was former and current members of Parliament that came down out of Baltimore. They go by the name of Let the Monkey Go. But it's about 3 of the original Funkadelics from back in the day, and they've been kind of supporting us for the past year and a half now. That was good. That went along well. Then we also have our support meetings that's still going on every other Saturday right here, and the birthday bash by Alvin Hills that happened in September. Now we're doing the clothing drive here, and the play on Sunday. And on the 21st, we help sponsoring the breast cancer awareness fashion show at the Alley in Newport News. But the purpose of the program is to get kids to inspire and encourage them.
Okay.
A lot of the kids in there have been through some abuse situation, and they found that doing this program, they really changed their lives, changed them around, made them better, made them feel better about themselves, and let them know they weren't the only ones that been through this kind of situation and how to overcome it, survive it. She had 15 this summer.
Okay.
But our goal is to get about 30 or 40 people every summer, and like I said, we give them 3 meals a day through our food program. And they just learn. They get most of the things. They write down their own problems. They come up with their own skits based on it, and their solutions are how to handle it and solve it based on that. It's the whole part of learning about life skills, and all that stuff.
My name is Patricia Johnson. I am the Executive Director for Survivors Not Victims of Food Service program, or that umbrella under Survivors Not Victims. I actually operate the food service program. So at this point, we are working aggressively, serving at least 3,000 children per day. And our program includes churches, some of our local churches, community centers, and several sports groups, and several of the public schools in Newport News and Hampton. Because I'm here every day, and because I work with Rachel in the performing arts side, a lot of those children have experienced that. And of course, with the drama and the theater, they're able to address some of those issues and help the children. So I get involved with on that perspective. Part that I've learned in the last 3 years about what Rachel actually does with the children, because a lot of them, like I said, have been abused at some point. So the being able to release through theater, drama, all those kinds of things has just been phenomenal. Children that have been shy, or have become shy, very reserved, we've watched them able to now relate to individuals, become more open, talking about not so much their experiences, but just opening up to adults and to children. So it's been a phenomenal experience just to see the transformation of a child that's so shy and so reserved. Then all of a sudden, through theater and acting, they become more relaxed and just a different person, different child.
My name is Jack Stoskoff. I'm a 47-year-old guy, and I live here in Hampton, Virginia, and I'm part of an organization called Survivors Not Victims of Sexual Abuse. I've been a member of this organization for around 3 years now, and it's part of my life, and I thank God for it. My role here with Survivors Not Victims, I serve on the board of directors and helping guide this organization. I also do writing. I also write for our website. Years ago, I'd heard God speak to my heart that He had wanted me to share my testimony. And I told God that I would never speak up. I'd never speak out. Excuse me. As a male survivor, it is difficult sometimes. To admit that these things happen to you, that you had no control over these things, it's difficult. But I told God that nobody would know of the things that I went through in my childhood. But I've since submitted to God on this. Okay. I didn't really have a choice because I was very miserable, because I'd suppressed the things that were within my heart. I saw other people that had gone through things like this, and because of my own anxieties and whatnot, I wasn't willing to even talk to them about it, and it was hard. I just got to the point where I was tired of hurting so much inside, and I was tired of seeing other people being hurt. Well, my mom passed away when I was around 4 years old, and my dad was a long-distance truck driver, and he wasn't home much. So anyway, he had 5 kids that he was basically had to take care of, and because of that, was placed into foster cares. Well, not foster care, but people's homes that would babysit us, and that exposed me to my first experience being sexually abused by a young woman. Probably from the ages of 10 to 14. On numerous occasions, I was sexually abused by a man, and It caused me a multitude of problems and questions throughout my life. I tried to put on different masks to hide the pain and the questions that I had inside. Had a lot of fears and anxieties over these things. The severity of the type of wounding that causes a guy or any victim of sexual abuse for that matter. It created a multitude of problems within my marriage. A lot of it had to do with, being intimate. The best thing that ever happened to me to find that I'm truly not alone in the pain that I had. And as a child, you, when you have these things happen to you, you really feel like you're all alone. And you wonder, does anybody care? Is anybody out there that will really understand? Is there anybody out there that will help make this stop? And you can't really deal with that as a child. People need to know that there are support groups that finally you can come to. And they understand you because they've been there.
Help us to be wise in times when we don't know.
I have done a lot of writing. I've done a lot of talking to people. As a type of therapy, you might say. I find that it's much better to be open and talk about your anxieties, your fears, than to keep them inside and suppress them. And I found that I'm not alone in my thoughts, my feelings, and that right there helps to admit the weaknesses. And I just trust really in God that He is my all in all, and He is the healer of all things. And I truly do believe that, unlike a lot of abusers, a lot of abuse survivors, I believe in healing without scars. I do believe that, yes, you do have memories, but I do believe that you can overcome all things through Christ, who gives you strength. I titled this, "You Are the Pearl." If there's one thing I've learned in life, it's that through nature I can glean valuable life lessons. One of these lessons I learned early in life, but I never saw the application for my own until recently. I was in 4th grade, if I remember correctly, and we studied about the state of Hawaii and Pearl Harbor. We learned the processes of how pearls are formed when something like a grain of sand entered the oyster shell and caused it to feel pain. So that it would coat the sand with nacre, which is in essence something of its own self. I'd ponder about these things from time to time, and I'd always had this attraction for pearls. I gave my girls an oyster on their birthday, of which, when they opened them, they would discover pearls inside. And we'd take those pearls and set them in a necklace setting together. Over the years, I think about at length about what it was about oysters and pearls that I was to learn. I was always questioning and trying to find something good out of what had happened. But all I felt was pain, and I coped with it with self-destructive behaviors. You, much like myself, may have many questions of a painful past and focus on that pain. Maybe you sought love and affection only to be used, left empty inside. And I want to tell you, all women, you are highly valued in the eyes of God, and you are His crowning jewel of all creation. You are taken from the very essence of man and created in the image of God. And you are the pearl.
If you find yourself in the unfortunate situation of becoming a sexual abuse victim, please contact Survivors Not Victim or any of your local authorities for assistance. You're not alone, and you do not have to remain silent any longer.
Give us faith so we'll be saved.